Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoes.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another stout review. First time, I don't want to say first time, I've had beers, collaboration beers with this brewery, but first time we've actually reviewed a beer brewed by Kyle. Horus Aged Ales, this is the latest release that he just did. It is called Goshawk's Beans, and that label art is fire. So this is an Imperial Stout, 13.3% alcohol by volume. Horus Aged Ales is in Oceanside, which is super local to me. And I'm sure you guys have all, if you're watching this, you've heard of Horus. Kyle collaborates with a million different people. There's tons and tons of beers that are out that he's collabed with people with. Lots of awesome stouts. And people are saying the sours that he makes are awesome too. I've not had an actual sour from him. I had a collaboration sour at Stone Sour Fest a couple months ago. But anyways, the Goshawk series, I think basically what this is Goshawk's Grasp, I think is what it is like the base stout for all these, and then he kind of does variations of it. So there's Goshawk's Grasp was the first one, Goshawk's Territory was the second one, and then this one's Goshawk's Beans. So I think it's kind of like the same thing as like Modern Times does with Monsters Park. They have a base stout and then they just do a bunch of cool stuff to it. I think that's kind of the same thing, if not, if I'm wrong. That's the way it goes. This one is with barrel-aged coffee and vanilla, and I wanted to review this because he had said to drink it fresh. It just got released this past weekend, so if you guys were looking to trade for it, figured we'd get a review on it. People have been kind of losing their minds over these stouts. They're really enjoying them. This beer, I think the boil of this beer is 5 hours, so everyone says it's really, really chewy and just really well made stout. So yeah. Anything else? I don't think so. Let's check this one out. Proper glassware, courtesy of my man Caleb. Thank you, sir. Look at that. That glass is sexy. It's like this big kind of balloon glass. I bet you this whole bottle of beer could fit into this, but we will leave some. I feel like I'm not a big stout drinker, but recently we reviewed a couple Bottle Logic stouts, and now we're doing a Horus stout. So Nathan's got me hooked on this. Got to drink stouts in hot weather. It's super hot in the garage right now, but I haven't done a review in here in a while, so I wanted to kind of get out here and do that. So yeah, it's pitch black in the glass. It didn't pour super, super dark, but it is absolutely pitch black in the glass. The head is gone. It was there a little bit. It dissipated very, very quick. It's what is there. It's like that kind of mocha awesome khaki color head. I love when stouts have that color head on it, but I mean, this thing's over 13%. I don't even know if we can we swirl this the way that this glass is? It kind of just rocks back and forth. I'll swirl this. Yeah, there's alcohol like streaking down. It's kind of staining the glass all like a Toppling Goliath stout, but it looks awesome. I'm a big fan of vanilla in stouts. I like coffee. I like all this, so let's go ahead and shove our nose in this one. When he posted this on Instagram, he said let this kind of warm up so you can get all of the flavors. This was sitting in my wine fridge at 65 degrees, so it's about that. It might be even warmer than that. It's sitting out here in the garage, so let's shove our fat nose in it. Holy crap, that smells really, really good. This smells familiar. First thing it reminds me of is when me and Nathan reviewed Morning Delight Batch 2. I talked about there was an ice cream at Baskin Robbins when I was a kid called Jamocha Almond Fudge. It has that kind of, and that's a coffee ice cream. It has that coffee ice cream kind of a smell, if that makes any sense. But there is a ton of vanilla. This is very pastry. I know I said that about FO. Very like that cake frosting vanilla, but there's the coffee that's in there. It just gives it this like kind of, I guess it's like if anyone like in the pastry world made like a cupcake and they made frosting out of coffee and vanilla, like imagine vanilla cake frosting with coffee added to it. That's what it smells like. Sometimes with coffee beers they can get like to that over roasted like acrid thing. This doesn't smell like that at all. This just smells like an awesome cup of coffee with vanilla in it. It smells like dessert. It's got this sweet kind of, it's not, see, I don't know exactly like what kind of like chocolate that I'm smelling, but it's got this cool chocolate, like maybe like that baker's kind of, that powdered kind of cocoa thing. I mean, this thing's over 13%. It does not smell like booze at all, so my mouth is salivating. It's hot out here, but we're gonna drink stout, so I wanna taste this one. Cheers. Right when you take a sip of that, that is so just mouth-coatingly huge, chewy. You are legitimately chewing on this beer. I talked to Nathan about crazy like stout brew days, and I'm pretty sure that a 5-hour boil for a beer is insane, but it makes me wish everyone who made big stouts did that, because if that's what's making this mouthfeel like that, it's worth it if you can do it. This is ridiculously chewy. And exactly what you smell, this tastes like coffee ice cream. It's so chewy, it's like you're, there's no lactose in this beer. I've asked him if he brews these beers with lactose. But it has like this desserty dairy ice cream kind of a feel to it. But the coffee is, I like this because it's not like overdone. It's not super bitter. There's a little bit of coffee bitterness on the finish, and you get that sweet, awesome vanilla like cake frosting thing that we smelled. This beer in bourbon barrels would be ridiculous, I'm sure. Because it's so chewy, it's so thick, that even if it sat in barrels for a while and it kind of mellowed that out, it wouldn't take away from the beer, and then you would get all the other flavors that you get from a bourbon barrel or whatever kind of barrel you would choose to put this in. For being my first Horus stout, I'm very, very impressed with this beer. Mouthfeel wise, it's one of the best stouts, especially this ABV, that you'll have. It's just, I know I keep saying it, but it's ridiculously chewy. And the coffee's so good. It says it's barrel-aged coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. I wouldn't be able to pick out like barrel-aged things of that. But I think the vanilla that gets added to it, it kind of gives you that, if you drink like a barrel-aged beer, you'll get those vanilla kind of notes from the barrels that it's in. It sort of reminds me of that, except for there's no heat to it. It doesn't have like that bourbon flavor to it. 13.3%. As this is warmed up more, I can kind of feel it a little bit in my chest, but this is very easy drinking for the ABV. If you're into that pastry sweet kind of coffee, chocolatey, awesome stout, this is for you. These were 4 bottles per person when he did it, and he allowed proxy, so these weren't just kind of stuck in Southern California. I think everyone kind of everywhere is getting these, so you should be able to trade for this, no problem. I mean, there's no one here to drink this with me, so to finish this, I'm gonna be fucking hammered when I'm done, because it's like, it'll be so easy to drink because it's so good. There's nothing like keeping you from being like, oh, this is gonna be a chore to finish. This is absolutely fucking delicious. So I would say trade for this. It's not a barrel-aged beer, so don't give up like crazy whales for it, but this beer is definitely worth checking out if you're a stout fan. On the mouthfeel alone, everyone talks about mouthfeel and they talk about toppling stouts. I mean, I've had all the big toppling stouts. I mean, I had the first batch of SR, I had batch 2 Morning Delight, had Assassin from 2014 or whatever it was, all those big chewy stouts. That's how this beer is. It's pretty crazy. So this is a world-class beer for me. This is like that 98, 99. It's not, if this was in barrels, I'd probably go higher if it had the exact same kind of thing to it, but saying this is a 99, there's nothing wrong with it. I think that's an awesome grade. This beer is fucking fire. So yeah, that's Goshawk's Beans from Horus Aged Ales. If you guys got bottles of this over the weekend and you opened one, let's talk about it. I know a lot of people were getting their beers from him and not a lot of people were opening them. So if you've had it, leave a comment below, let me know what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Cheers.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.